everyone, I'm Ash Carlson, and joining me today, an ET favorite, David Dastmalchian.
A favorite even. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody.
You're like
How's
a
it going?
regular here at this point.
I love you, and I love being here, and people don't see all the things that I get to see that are happening around us. It's like there's secret stuff that we can't even talk about. It's amazing.
It's like
And
like Marvel level
the
spoilers.
coffee magic. I love it. So good.
Yep, it's so good. Nothing in here. Bringing the pompadour back, AntMan and the Wasp.
Big time.
As Kurt. Such a good kind of palate cleanser post Infinity War.
Isn't Peyton the best?
Yes.
I mean, the movie's got it's a Peyton Reed movie through and through. It's got like all of his nerdgasming. It's got his heart, and it's like a film about family. Sorry, I'll let you keep talking, but I'm really I just saw it for the first time.
We're here for you
to
talk.
So proud of it.
But you really enjoy these movies as a fan. What did you think of Infinity War? First of all, backtrack.
I love the Russo so much. I loved Infinity War. I thought it was so powerful, and it got that emotional kick that I got out of the joy when I first discovered there was a comic series when I was first really getting into comics called Secret Wars, in which all the Avengers plus other members of the Marvel Cinematic Universe had to come together. It wasn't cinematic then. The Marvel Universe had to come together to fight this this entity called the Beyonder. And watching the film reminded me, as they came together to battle Thanos, like that feeling I had, that kid in me that got to see all of your favorite characters coming together in this battle against this incredible villain. And then, like, the impact that it had on me, it was a wallop. But I did leave it thinking, like, man, my son, who's just a little too young for, like, Infinity War, like, he'll see it eventually, and he's gonna love it, I know. But I was like, gosh, I want him to see a Marvel movie, and then I knew what was coming next.
Right.
So I'm really excited that I feel like this may be the first thing that I've ever been a part of that I'm gonna actually watch with my kid.
Right. How old is he?
He's 4.
He's 4. Okay.
Yeah. And one time we were on a plane, and I fell asleep, and he figured out how to get into the entertainment system on the TV.
Oh, he's a hacker.
He woke me. He's a hacker. Just like that. Make me very proud. He woke me up. He's like, Daddy, Daddy, Daddy. And I was like, what? And I looked, and he goes, "You're a bad guy." And I looked at the screen, and he had found The Flash and saw an episode where I was abracadabra, and I was like, oh, we'll turn that off, because Daddy's kind of scary there.
Oh, but he's seen you on screen then.
That counted, I guess, a little. But for AntMan and the Wasp, I think it would. I don't know. I haven't talked about it with my wife yet, but I think I would love to take him to like a theater and see the movie.
Yeah.
And this movie, he could totally see.
Let's get into AntMan and the Wasp.
Yes.
You just saw it for the first time?
I did the other night at the premiere. It was very exciting. Yeah, I'm so thrilled. I swear the first viewing always feels a little weird to me because it doesn't look real, because I still find it odd that that's like me up there. So it's a little surreal. But I also, I think about the fact that, like, I'm so lucky that Peyton keeps me around and doesn't get mad at me, or that Paul and all these other actors, because I just the worst at breaking and laughing when they're doing something, and the scenes get going, and these actors start building and improvising off of the script, and they're running with it. And if there's anybody that derails that with just inappropriate laughter, it's this guy. So
have you ever in AntMan or in AntMan and the Wasp, did you ever notice like you're kind of smirking in the background or something?
Oh yeah, I saw it in the trailer. I was like, oh my God. And I said to Eve, I was like, can you tell him? And she was like, no, it looks like you're in your character. I'm like, to me, I can see like the tears welling up in my eyes, and I'm pinching my hand under the table like, don't laugh.
Because especially if you're with Pena most of the time, because he's like, you know.
He just goes. And Paul just is they're like gurus of improv, and you know, Paul will start throwing stuff at you. And by the way, like, there's a scene in the office at ex-con, and like everybody was throwing just ridiculously hilarious stuff, and I was trying not to laugh. I mean, Evangeline Lilly, who, by the way, you've seen it, like, she just raises the bar for the MCU superheroes and superheroes in general with this movie. Like, you think we've seen so many superheroes introduced at this point in all the movies that we're going to see who can, like, take it up a notch?
Yeah.
She does, man. But as much butt kicking and like awesomeness as she delivers, and she has some really dramatic scenes in it, she's freaking hilarious too, man. She can be so funny. Michael Douglas. Michael Douglas was doing these like dry responses to a bit that you'll see when you see the movie, and that was causing me to laugh. They all can get me.
You, by the way, have like the best reaction to our antagonist of the movie, Ghost. So good.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh, that cracked me up.
Well, Hannah's amazing in it. The character's awesome. It's a new kind of villain that we haven't seen yet in the MCU. Her relationship to Lawrence Fishburne, who is so awesome in this. I'm in a movie with Lawrence Fishburne.
Yeah.
And Michelle Pfeiffer.
Michael Douglas and Michelle Pfeiffer and Walton Goggins.
Go back to that many more times. But her relationship with Fish and the way that their characters go. That's what he says. That's how he calls himself. Sorry. Lawrence, Mr. Fishburne.
No, I'm
they
cool with
are,
this. What's up, Fish?
It's something that we haven't. I loved watching the way that the character's journey went, because I was like, oh, that's really unique and original and like has a whole new level of heart to it. This movie's about keeping families together, about fighting to try and keep families together, and the like trauma that comes from the families that have been, taken apart by circumstance or by, in this film, elements that have to deal with science fiction, which are really cool and find their way into the bigger MCU. But their relationships, Lawrence Fishburne and Hannah, between it's beautiful, you know, and that's our bad person, if you will. Like, I still care about her. She's not just this unmotivated villainy.
You had a very interesting. Was it a lunch with Hamill, Gunn?
Yes,
all these guys. Because this was like after.
Nerd news.
Let's go back to the nerd news of what this actually was, because there was tweets back and forth between Hamill and James Gunn.
Yes.
Saying, hey, like, we're neighbors and we've never met and I want to be in Guardians 3 or whatever. Let's have lunch. But you were there.
My family and the Hamills have been friends since we worked on Sushi Girl together, and Mark and I just bonded over our love of comic books and movies and stuff. Well, when James and I have been friends for a number of years now, and he's one of my dearest friends. And when he bought his new house, Eve and I were driving up for like a housewarming, and I was like, oh my gosh, James is neighbors with Mark. How cool is this? Two of the coolest people I know are going to be neighbors now, and they have to meet each other, because I just was like, you guys would so hit it off. So anyway, Mark's a fan of James. James is a fan of Mark. They were tweeting at one another. At one point, I did send an email being like, just making sure you guys got each other's info, but I think they had DM'd each other. And then we had an afternoon picnic at the Hamill house, and James and Jen, his amazing girlfriend, came down, and Eve, my wife, and Arlo, my son, and Penny, my daughter. It was actually the week of her first birthday. Oh. So the Hamills, so graciously, because Nathan was there, Mark's son, who's a great artist, and his daughter Chelsea, them and Mary Lou, they let us. We did a birthday cake for Penny, and I said to Eve, it's funny, as annoying as I'll probably be to my daughter, someday she's going to think I'm really cool that she got to have her first birthday with two of the coolest of our friends. So it was awesome to see these two amazing guys get to know each other, and I was right. Immediately, they just started going and talking, and it was really cool to get to be there for that. And I don't know, I just think they're both such wonderful human beings first, and such awesome people. And then when you look at the work that they've contributed to the stuff that I love so much, it is just an honor that they're both friends. So,
you are in the same cinematic universe as Karen Gillan, but you guys hadn't worked together until now.
Correct.
So you wrote your second movie.
Yes.
Tell me everything about it and working with her.
I had been a fan of Karen's for so long, and obviously she'd worked with James, and James always spoke so highly of her and how talented she was, what a cool person she was, and all of our friends, Simon, everyone who's part of that world has been like, oh my God, Karen is the coolest. So I wrote a film called Animals, which came out a couple of years ago, directed by my good friend Colin Shifley, which had a really wonderful little life, and it continues to grow now that it's on streaming platforms. So we went to make our second film, which is a script I wrote as well, called All Creatures Here Below, which is set back where I grew up in Kansas. Karen ended up really responding to this script, and I had never met her before that, and I didn't know that she would respond as strongly as she did, and she came with just this incredible vision for this character and her ideas about the character, and we were so honored that she wanted to be a part of the film. And we were still like, Karen, you just come off Guardians, you know, Jumanji's coming up, and you're Karen Gillan. You realize like there's no money, and like we're gonna not have trailers. We're gonna be in hot cars in the middle of the Kansas summer. And she was like, no, I want to do it. So we.
What was that Karen impression?
I'm not doing it again. It slipped out of me. That was captured on camera.
It was more Curdy than Karen.
Sorry, Karen. My Scottish, it's not great. My Scottish, is it not?
Oh, there you go.
Right.
We're improving.
Talk about being on the spot. So that's Irish, the leprechaun.
Yeah.
So Karen came with us to Kansas. And we made this, and we had a bunch of other amazing artists and actors that came aboard that film. And Ash, like, we've all seen her do so many diverse, crazy, awesome roles, but I cannot wait for people to see what Karen Gillan manifested in this. I can't wait. We're finding out right now. When is it going to be available? Hopefully I'll come back soon. We'll have more news on that front soon. But
hey, you have a permanent spot on this couch.
You guys know that I sleep over there.
Yeah.
There's my refrigerator. My kids are over there. It's a little pen. Hi, kids.
Oh, they're so well behaved. Just
They
quiet
are so
the whole time. I was on Getty.com, which is like a photo website, and I was looking for pictures of you, and I saw this picture of you just completely shirtless.
Yes.
And I downloaded it and sent it to you, and I was like, what's happening?
Yeah, because the people begged for it. I had to do it.
Yeah, well, the people are always begging.
The people are begging. Shirtless David.
So what is the story there? What were you doing?
There's a picture of me dancing shirtless with David Wayne. We're both in ridiculous series of costumes, and that is actually one of the most awesome things I've gotten to be a part of in my life. It's a charity event for Children's Mercy Hospital in Kansas City. The event is called Big Slick, and it's been happening for I think the last 9 years. It's hosted by Paul Rudd, Dave Keckner, Eric Stonestreet, Rob Riggle, and Jason Sudeikis. All of these guys are natives of Kansas City or the surrounding area. This is a hospital that's just leading the charge in children's oncology, so pediatric cancer research and treatment. They take kids no matter their financial background. You see kids from all walks of life all across the Midwest, not just around Kansas City. I mean, people come from all over to go to this hospital, and it's a magical, very special place that takes people in at one of the darkest times that they could experience. And I'm just so lucky that I get to be a part of it. And this year we raised $2.1 million. The biggest ticket item of the event, all the nerds will freak, was when Paul came out on stage and from the rafters slowly ascended and a real shield of caps. I mean, a Russell Bobbitt signature true real prop, a Captain America shield. It was vibranium, absolutely. I mean, this is real. And it had been signed by every one of the Avengers.
Jeez.
Yeah. And a guy, I think they started the bidding at like $10,000, $12,000, and immediately some guy in the back was like, $65,000. And they're
like, oh, okay.
Sold.
That's so incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming in, by the way.
Thank you.
Love having you. All the time.
Go on.
Yeah, you guys can see Kurt in AntMan and the Wasp.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It's here.
It's here.
It's here. It's happening.
It's time.
Thank you.
Gosh.
You're the best.
You're the best. Stop it.